Just like to offer a big shout out to Touchdown Digital, the leaders in web design and construction, for sponsoring this week's video. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all fighting fit and well. Look, I have now finally finished my appraisal of the Innorel RT90C, this monster of a tripod that I've been telling everyone about. I'll upload this video now, but I'll also show you some of the images that I captured on the day here at Cahills Lookout in the Blue Mountains, just this side of Katoomba. An absolute magnificent location. I have been here before, some time ago, probably just before the bushfires ripped through the place. But it's all regenerated, regrown. In actual fact, I'll be coming back up here a couple of days' time. I want to get into Boar's Head. There's a location called Boar's Head here, which I want to photograph. But I'll show you some of these images that I took whilst I was using this monster of a tripod from Innorel. So sit back and please enjoy. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Glenn and you're watching Sniper Photography. Look, today I've come out to chase sunsets this time instead of sunrises here in the Blue Mountains. I'm actually at Cahills Lookout, which is just, well, it's in the top 5 of lookouts in the Blue Mountains. However, it doesn't really see a lot of people, and I don't know why, because it is just absolutely stunning here. But that's a bit later on. It's actually 5:05 p.m. here, and we do have a bit of cloud happening, so fingers crossed we'll get some nice images. However, I'm going to quickly run through with you my thoughts on this beast, the Innorel RT90C. I've picked this tripod up in the last week or so, and it's an absolute beast. I did do an introduction video about 3 days ago on this. But by geez, it's not for everyone, because it's not for the faint-hearted. It is a monster. But what I'll do, I'll set it up and I'll explain to you a bit about it, what I think of it, who I think it's for, and who I don't think it's for. So that's very important. But anyway, well, I'll turn this one off. I'll set this sort of thing up first, and then we'll see how we go. Okay, I can always tell when someone's new to photography, but I also see so-called experienced people here on YouTube set up their tripod like this, and quite frankly it just takes too much time and you're creating too much work for yourself. This is what I usually see. They arrive at their location, they get their tripod out of their bag or whatever, and then they do this. Why would you do that? You're creating twice as much work for yourself while you're doing that. I mean, as I said, I see plenty of people do it out in the field. I just don't get why they try and set up a tripod joint after joint. I mean, you're creating work for yourself. I'll show you how you really should be setting up your tripod. So when you arrive with your tripod and you find your location, all you have to do is grab these three twist locks and turn them. Okay, just turn them. 1, 2, 3. Very quick. Then all you do, turn the tripod up and go. Done. That's much quicker. Then it's just a matter of tightening them. So much better. Instead of doing, 1, 2, 3. We'll get there in the end. 1, 2, 3. Takes too long. I mean, seriously, with any tripod, not just because I'm doing this for the Innorel, I've seen people set up their tripods that way, and I don't get it. If you want to keep doing it, that's fine. But all you do is grab your 3 twist locks, like so. Grab them, turn them, 1, 2, 3. Throw it down like that and you're set up. It's very, very simple. It's quick, because I've seen people try and set their gear up and they're missing the light because they're fluffing around and carrying on with trying to set up their tripod, you know. So that's how I do it. That's how I set it up. Undo the 3 and slam it down, not on the ground, but just slam it down. It opens really, really quickly. It's so much better, quicker, you're saving time, and it's less work, you know. We all want less work, so that's how you do it. But I will, when the light's a bit right, it's 5:15, it's quite warm here, but I will be putting this through its paces. It's an absolute beast, this tripod. What I have done to it, the only thing that I have changed is I've swapped out the spiked feet. It does come with spiked feet, but it comes with 28mm spiked feet. I swapped them out and I put in 68mm spiked feet. So they're longer, they're a bit thicker, gives me more purchase in the ground, especially soft ground. They're a Leo Photo brand. They're about $90 for 3. They're not cheap, they don't miss you. But I think they are a bit better than what you get when you order this tripod. So I think it's, you know, probably the best way to go. For me it is, but that's how you set your tripod up. Grab the 3, turn them, and away you go. Now, also too, the weakest part about a tripod is the 3rd leg. It's this one. Now, this is, as I said, a big tripod, but it's still, that's I think that's 30mm bottom leg, which is quite large. It's still the weakest part of any tripod, the 3rd leg. So when you do set up your tripod, try not to extend the 3rd leg. Okay, when you buy a tripod, look at the height that it goes to. Now, I'm a tall man. I'm 6'5". You know, I'm 6'5". I'm a tall man. This actually goes to 190 centimeters, which is up here about me. But I'll never shoot at eye level anyway. So, but if you're looking at buying a tripod, whether it's this Innorel or the one under, which I'll explain to you in a moment, really look at the height. Most of them go to 160 to 180. If you're, you know, if you're under 180 centimeters, well, that's okay. But you really want to, seriously, you really want to think about the height of the tripod. You don't really want to extend the center column. Now, I will be doing another video on all this properly, and center columns for me are a no-go. In the photography circles I inhabit, we call the center column the blur maker. I only own one tripod with a center column, and that's what I'm using here to film from. And I really do that because of the height. I'm only filming, I'm not taking still images. Center columns can give you problems with soft images or blurring, and that's why we call the center column the blur maker. So basically I'll be doing a video on that a bit later on, but it's more about this one. I'll be using this late this afternoon, early evening to catch these beautiful sunrises that I think we're going to get. But other than that, yeah, not bad so far. I have the Innorel ball head, the Innorel N52, huge ball head too, by the way. It's a 65mm circumference, because this is an 85mm shoulder. So as you can see, it's quite large. So look, I'll go down, I'll set up, and I could do a few black and whites, I suppose, long exposure, but I'll go down to the lookouts, set this up, and then I'll talk to you about what I'm doing here and a bit more about this tripod. So sit back and just wait. Great location. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Glenstone and you're watching Sniper Photography. I hope everybody's fighting fit and well. Look, I finally finished my sort of like trial of the Innorel RT90C tripod. This beast of a tripod which I purchased from Amazon with a Christmas gift card I got off a client, and I did do a video on this, or the introduction to this tripod, a couple of weeks ago, but I'll put the link to that video down the bottom of this one. So I've used this tripod for 14 days straight in all different conditions, using all different cameras. I used it on the, well, two of the biggest cameras I own is the Canon 1DX Mark II with a 300mm f2.8, which is a massive unit. And then I put on top one of my Hasselblad HD6 large format cameras, which I use in the studio, and that is a monster. And the tripod just handled it brilliantly. I really don't think that there is a camera on the market that'll test this tripod out. It is just huge. I mean, it is, wherever you set it up, it just takes over. I mean, recently I was up in the mountains, well, in the mountains here, and there was various photographers around me with other tripods, and they were just blown away by the size of this thing. And they said, "My God, what is that tripod? I mean, it's massive, it's huge." All those comments. Well, it is. It's quite large. 40mm tube legs. It's just a beast of a thing. It's got a beautiful carbon fibre finish. I did swipe out the spike feet for 68mm long Leo photo spikes. That's the only modification I have done to this tripod. But I mean, who's it for and who isn't it for? Well, basically, I'll let you know who it is for. Okay, this tripod is basically for people that use digital SLRs or heavy cameras or medium format cameras, because it can take a lot of weight, and it's just like a rock. It's just, once it's in place, it's very difficult to move. So I just think, basically, if you're a digital SLR shooter and you're using heavier cameras, such as a digital SLR or one of the larger format cameras, well then, yeah, definitely this tripod is for you. It goes to a great height, as you can see. This is my eye level. I'm 6'5", so this is just an incredible piece of kit, really. For $500 it cost me. I do use a ball head that goes with it, which is around about $190 to $200. It's another Innorel tripod. It's an N52, and I'll put the link to that in the video, below this video. But basically, it has just performed brilliantly, but you have to be careful where you set it up, because if you're in a tight, confined space, this probably isn't the tripod for you, because it's got a large, wide stance. It takes up a lot of room. It takes up a lot of real estate. I can tell you that now. Basically, as I said, it's for digital SLR users or heavy camera users like I am. I don't use mirrorless cameras. I don't have any small cameras. So it's for that type of person. Plus also too, if you're a big sort of person, or a big guy, this possibly is the tripod for you, because it is quite heavy. Once you put a ball head on top, you're looking at just over 3 kilos. So it's a heavy unit all round. But so you've got to be able to, pick it up and carry it as well. So that's who it is for. Landscape photographers will find this very useful, especially if you're doing long exposure shots or seascape work, because it's so stable. Astrophotography, for a lot of stability, you can't beat this. Who else would it be for? Seascape photographers, landscape photographers. So basically that's who it's for, but who isn't it for? So who isn't this tripod for? Okay, I don't think it's suitable for someone that has a small build, or isn't as strong as some other people. People aren't as tall as me or as big as me, I get that. So maybe this tripod isn't for you if you're a smaller framed person. This might sound ridiculous, but it is a commanding piece of equipment to use and carry around. So if you're not all that strong or physically strong, maybe this tripod isn't for you. What about if you're a mirrorless camera user? Well, mirrorless cameras are traditionally small and light, and that's one of their major selling factors, plus many other factors, of course. But if you're a mirrorless camera user, using a tripod like this, I think it's overkill. I really do think it's overkill, because they don't weigh as much as big digital SLRs with their big lenses. They just don't. So if you're a mirrorless camera user, this RT90C Innorel tripod I don't think is for you. It'd be just overkill. You're better off buying its smaller brother, which is the RT80C. That's the next one down. Still thick in the tube, but not as big as its big brother here. So I think, if you're a mirrorless camera user, probably too big for you because of the build and the weight of it. It's just too big, really. I mean, it's designed for heavy cameras. If you're a hiker or some sort of traveller, I really don't think this tripod is for you. Basically because, once again, because of the size. Because it's a very commanding sort of tripod. If you want to hike into a location for a few kilometres like we do here in the bush, this isn't for you. Seriously, it's not. Because if you're using a small camera bag, this won't fit in the side of the camera bag or even be able to strap to the back of the camera bag because of the tube diameter. Because it's all the way through, it's not flimsy at the bottom, the third leg. So if you're that type of photographer where you've got to walk or hike into your location, this probably isn't for you. Seriously, I'd get the next one down or some sort of lighter tripod. But basically that's who it isn't for. So we've got the fors and against for it. Now, how would I rate it out of 10? Well, I rate it 8. And the reason why I don't give it a 9 or a 10 is because, well, I think basically because of the size and the weight. It's not for everybody, so that's why I can't rate it a 10 out of a 10. Okay, so where do I rate it? I rate it an 8 out of 10, mainly because it's big and it's large. It's just a very commanding sort of tripod. And the reason why I don't give it a 10 is because of its size. It's not for everybody, but if you're looking for a good, strong, sturdy tripod, by geez, you've got to look at this Innorel brand, because quite frankly, it is fantastic to use, and it's a conversation starter. I can tell you, when you're in a location and people turn up and they say, my God, I'm looking at that tripod, what is it? You know, and you explain it to them and they finally get it. So, but that's it, that's the Innorel RT90C. What I'll do, I'll show you the ball head mechanism or the bowl mechanism and this plate. Okay guys, so the overall opinion of this tripod, the RT90C Innorel tripod from Amazon, as I've said earlier in the video, it is just an absolute beast. It's not for everybody. As I said, it's for people that are using big digital SLR cameras or larger format cameras or medium format. If you're using a mirrorless camera, it might be overkill for you. You really want the 80C, that's the smaller brother of this one. It's not a tripod for travelling, it's not a travelling tripod. Basically, it's not also a tripod that you'd take if you're going on long hikes and things like that. It's just too heavy, too big for you. And also if you're not really a big person, because this is an absolute beast, as you can see, and it's not for everyone. However, for me, I'll be using this quite often. Probably won't be taking it down into the gullies where I've got a huge walk coming back out, so it's not going to be very good that way for me. I'll use the lighter Benro. But it does come with a couple of features. The first one is this. This is a bowl mount. This is a 75mm bowl mount. Now, these are really good for leveling tripod and camera, actually. The tripod has the bubble float there. Okay, now this is the bowl here. Okay, I've got a Leofoto leveling base on there, but you don't have to have that. I just put that on there just through habit, really. So basically it fits in there like that. So all we do, we just whack that in, and we use this handle here, and the handle screws on underneath, and that way you can adjust the angle of your camera. A really good system, these bowl mounts. I've used bowl mounts for some time, or ever since they first come out. But as you can see, I can move that around. Okay, so that is a great system to use. Now, you can either use that, or it comes with a plate, which is this plate here, right? And it's got a hook under there where you hang your camera bag, which I don't, whatever you do, don't hang your camera bag off underneath your tripod, for goodness sakes. To release this, there's a pin here, a clip, And then under here, there's a pin, it's a safety latch, and you pull it like so. There it is. So that goes with the ball mount, as you can see. Right, now, with the plate, it's just a flat plate, such as that. It's an aluminium flat plate. That goes in there like that. There's a pin here you've got to push in. It's a safety pin. In, locked, pull that down, and you're good to go. So that's the plate. Now, ball head can fit on top of here, a tripod level can fit on here, but basically I use both, but I prefer using the ball situation, like so. I really don't think I'd ever go back to using a ball head, quite frankly. I use geared heads or pan heads for my landscape photography. I just find them more, precision-wise, so much better. A ball head is, you know, a bit floppy here, and they do start to creep. So for me, I just think that this system with the ball, like so, or the plate, suits me just fine. So, as I said, overall rating of 8 out of 10 for this tripod. It's an absolutely fantastic buy for $500. You can put your current ball head on there or buy a geared head for $300 or $400, whatever the case may be. But this tripod is outstanding, quite frankly, for the money. And when I compare it to my Gitzos and my $800, $900 and $1,000 Benros, this thing's as good as it. It is just an absolute superb piece of gear. And in actual fact, I am now going to buy the small brother of this, which is the 80C. It's a carbon fibre. The legs are 32mm. And what I'll be doing with that is I'll be replacing my video tripod here, which is just about shot to pieces. It's been hammered all its life, so I'm going to get rid of that tripod, keep the ball head. But I'm going to buy the RT80C, which retails around about $300 on Amazon. I swear by this now. I've actually punished it for 14 days. Every day I use this tripod and I could not fault it one bit. So that's the Innorel RT90C from Amazon. And as I said, yeah, look, great piece of kit. Not for everybody, but if you think it's suitable for you, then go ahead and purchase it, because it is bloody good and it stands up with all the other leading manufacturers out there, which, quite frankly, they all come out of the same factory. Isn't that surprising? So any questions or any comments, please put them down below. That's it for another video. Next couple of days I'm going out to Boar's Head Lookout for some nice sunset shots or images. They're predicting some nice sunsets in the next few days, and hopefully I'll get a few more clouds. So that's it for another episode of Sniper Photography. Thank you for joining me here today on the Innorel RT90C tripod, which is an absolute fantastic piece of kit. So until next time, as I always say, be nice to yourself, family and friends, but most of all, you keep shooting and keep smiling. Bye for now.